Hello, this is the Watchdog. Welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Chenxi 004D. Let's start out with the wrist check. I'm wearing the Smart Farewell 4360, and Greg was wearing my Bernie 2954M. Greg said he was watching that new sitcom Trees Company about an ant called Cracked, living with two ant wives called Planted and Mossy. They have two landlords named Stackley and Mellon Grover who wouldn't let Cracked move in because they thought he was a naughty pine, but Planted convinced them Cracked was flame retardant. Alright, let's take a look at the watch. It doesn't come in a box. These Chenskis only come in these little Ziploc bags. But here it is. Not too bad of a looking watch, considering it only cost $10. Let's get the hands in a little bit more pleasant position. And there it goes. Another Chenxi on my channel. This is an homage to a 36mm date just with the bonus of a teak dial, which is what you don't get with the Rolex. This is an ultra affordable quartz watch under $10, so we're going to have some compromises such as a roll-link bracelet, chrome-plated case, and a loose crown mint hand jumping movement that can be quite difficult to set. The date just remains a very popular Rolex as it is a bit fancier than the basic Oyster Perpetual, giving you the option of a Jubilee bracelet and fluted bezel. The date just was the first watch to have a date, but that was in 1945. Here it is 80 years later, and having a date is very commonplace and nothing special. So it makes you wonder why Rolex even has the date just line and just doesn't roll it into the basic OP. This watch comes in 4 different colorways, all with different colored teak dials. I chose blue, surprise, surprise, but if you don't like blue, you can have black, green, or white. The rolled link J-style bracelet is the only option. The watch is 35.5 millimeters at the bezel, but 36 millimeters at the case, 42.6 millimeters lug to lug, and 11.4 millimeters thick. So it's a little thick considering the size of this watch. Has a 20 millimeter lug width, which tapers down to 15.5 where it meets the clasp, and weighs 75 grams on the supplied roll link bracelet with no links removed. Yes, you heard that right. No links removed. The bezel's fluted, and it just makes it look fancy. And then we have the dial. We have minute markers and sub-minute markers. And then we have a teak dial with the sunburst effect. It says Chenxi up top, quartz on the bottom. The 12 o'clock index is a fake jewel, or faux jewel, I should say. Then we have baton indices everywhere else. Then we have stick, minute, and hour hand, and they are loomed, but very poorly. And then we have an unloomed second hand. And then we have a date with a border. The crown is an unsigned push-pull, and this is a rather loose movement, and so when you go to set it, sometimes you get a jump. But if you hold it carefully, sometimes you can press it without it jumping. And then we have the crystal. Crystal is just a flat mineral glass, nothing special about it, does the job. Then we have the case. The case is a chrome-plated alloy, and it's shaped like a oyster case. That's basically what the shape is. Seems to be fine for what you got. Then you have the case back. Case back sticks out a little bit farther than one would like, which makes the watch a little bit thicker than it need be. It says water resistant, which means you only get the 30. Then it gives the model number. It says stainless steel back, which is a good tell that the rest is not. Underneath the case back is the SL28 quartz movement. This is I've seen worse. I prefer it to, definitely prefer it to the PC21, which is just an awful movement. But see, it jumped just a little there. And if I hold it, and that was a big jump there. So See, it didn't jump at all that time. So sometimes you get a jump, sometimes you don't. You just have to be very careful when you set it and hope you get lucky. Then we have the bracelet. Bracelet's a rolled link bracelet. And it's got hollow end links. And it's not a bad looking bracelet. My big complaint about rolled link bracelet is sizing them. Because instead of split pins, you got these little pegs in the sizing links. And they can be quite difficult to get in and out. Especially back in, because these links move around once you get the peg out. And it's just difficult. I did not have to experience that with those because I did not remove any links. Then we have the clasp. Clasp has 3 holes in micro adjust. That's good. And it's just simple press though. And no, it's not signed or anything. And as you can hear, it's pretty jangly. Here's the watch at my 7.5-inch wrist. It looks nice. It wears nice. It's nice and flat on the wrist. And it's light. It's comfortable. The J-style bracelet contours to the wrist just fine. It has inverted end links. So I like the fit and I like the look. Like I said, the biggest complaint about the rolled link bracelet is sizing it, not so much the comfort or anything. Here we are in the loom room. When you have a $10 watch, you're never going to have great loom. That is just basic math, but sometimes you can have decent loom. Unfortunately, this is not it. As we see up the time, we see a green glow that is fading way too fast. And unfortunately, the major hands are a hair weaker than the already weak indices. Everything's already about gone. This is definitely $10 watch loom. What I like about this watch, it looks and wears nice. I like this teak dial with the sunburst effect. And I didn't mention this before, but the second hand basically hits the marks. What are my gripes and groans? Rolled link bracelet is hard to size. Loose crown action makes it hard to set. The loom is just lousy. And the bracelet is too short. I didn't remove any links to fit on my wrist. I just only moved it in one hole of micro adjust. Do I recommend this watch? As long as your wrist isn't bigger than mine, this isn't really a bad watch, and it only costs $10, so sure. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Chenxi 004D, and I will be back with another review. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you like this watch, be sure to use my affiliate link, and I'll get a tiny commission, but those tiny commissions do add up, and that's how I can get a little bit nicer watches on my channel. And I'd like to thank my Members Choice members. It looks like all of you watched the unboxing video, so that's great. And as soon as I get it reviewed, you guys get a week head start on the review. Bye.